Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Rini and this is the Enchanted Planner. Okay, today we are doing a how you can use scrapbook paper in your planner tutorial. This is my part. This is a collaboration with Di from Creative Karma Designs. We came up with 10 ideas between the two of us, so I'm going to show you 5. And to see the other 5, you have to go and watch the video on Di's channel. I will leave a link for that in the description, but we're gonna get rocking and rolling. Okay, so I don't use it a ton, not as near as much as I probably should. I have a lot of scrapbook supplies, including a ton of paper. But I do use scrapbook paper in my planners on occasion just to mix things up and create sort of a mixed media sort of deal. So I pulled out a few spreads from last year and this year where I've used it in various applications. So this, actually this isn't scrapbook paper, this is paper bag. My apologies, but pretend it's scrapbook paper, okay? I've torn it, and these I inked just at the edges just to give it sort of a vintage vibe. And then behind this sticker over here, I created a decorative box of sorts, okay? The next example is I've torn it to create a base for the squad girls. So it looks like they're actually on land, for lack of a better term, okay? And the third example in here is where I cut this piece out because to me it looked like falling snow. So I cut out the scrapbook paper to fit the bottom square or rectangle. And then additionally, I layered more scrapbook or more scrapbook paper here, and I inked the edges of it just to give it a little bit of depth to make it look like all of the stick girls were out playing in the snow. So those are 3 examples from last year's spreads. And then I have done a spread this year where I used it in combination with the modern wild sticker book. I found this pattern paper at, I think it was Michael's. So I layered it with brown scrapbook paper in the corners just to give it a little bit of something, because there's not really a large amount of decorative stuff within this book. So it was a good way to add some decor where there wasn't a lot of decor pieces, because y'all know me. I love big decorative stickers. Oh, I forgot to put that back in that planner. I'll put that back in a second. Okay, so what do I have in front of me today? I have a few things. What we're going to do today is I'm going to take you through a tutorial, but this is also what I'm going to use in my vertical layout. I think it's my vertical layout for next week's spread. So we'll be actually using this stuff in the spread later to come. So this is a scrapbook paper I've chosen because it's kind of sunflower season. Now I had to photocopy this. So this is just on regular printer paper because the original piece of paper is so thick, like it's almost cardboard. You know, the thicker cardboards, like it's not quite cardboard box, but it's like super thick. So it was a little too thick to put in the planner. So I opted just to photocopy it. But what I also have here is a variety of different blues to go with this. Probably should have pulled out yellow, but you know, there's a lot of yellow in this, so we're going to work with that. And then I've also got this scrapbook paper pad that I picked up at the dollar store. Look at your dollar stores because you can get some really good deals. This was $4 for like 50 sheets of scrapbook paper, but this scrapbook paper is a pretty good match for this, and I like the pattern. So we're going to pull out a sheet of this. I don't really need the whole thing, so it doesn't matter that it tore. Okay, then we're going to move that out of the way. Okay, so what can you do? Well, the first example I'm actually going to take you through today is making journaling flip boxes. So we know that our planner squares are either 1 inch across, or if we put 2 of them together, what are they? 1.5 inch, 1 inch. Give me a vertical planner. Not vertical. Where's my vertical planner? Oh my gosh. I put it over there because I thought I was done with it. Oh, you know what? I'm not going to grab that one. I'm just going to grab the one we're working in right now, which is not that planner, this planner. My planner's getting a little bit of a makeover because it's pretty much autumn. Okay, so let's go here to my vertical because Menno brain is bad today and I can't think straight. Okay, so we'll just grab this. And I'm gonna grab a ruler because I know this measurements, but can I think of them right now? Okay, no, that's what it is. It's 1.5. It's 1.5, or if we're doing double, it's 3. And then they are 2.5 inches tall. So we are going to create a journaling flip box first. Now we have a couple of options. I have paper that is white on one side, which would be pretty good to do that with. I also have paper, I brought 2 down sheets. That's not the one I want. I want this one. Or I have this paper, which is colored on both sides. I think I'm going to opt for, oh, these both work pretty good. I'm kind of digging the darker one though. So we're going to make the journaling flip box out of this. I don't know what's on the front of my thing. So getting my paper trimmer out, I'm going to measure out a double box. So I want to go, there's the 2, the 3 is right there. I want to go 3 inches by 2.5. Wait a minute, I did that wrong. Hold on, I'm happy I didn't cut, because it's not 2.5, it's going to be 5. And if my math is right, which I don't think it is for some reason, I'm having really bad brain fog today, people. This is probably not the best day to do a tutorial on. Gosh. Okay, no, I did it right. Okay, we're good, we're good. We're good, because I was panicking there for a second. Welcome to my world. Okay, so we're gonna fold it in half. Okay, and this is where these wonderful things called bone folders come in, because we're just gonna use that to flatten the edge. Okay, so now we have a flip box, and I have a couple of things I can do with this. I can put a piece of white or some other piece on the front to, like, I might put some of these sunflowers on the front of this. And then I can now journal on the inside, and I'm going to adhere that into my planner when I create this spread in the vertical later this week. Okay, so this is just one example of what you can do. Now, the other thing that we can do, as I mentioned, is we can tear things to create decor pieces, right? So now if we're looking at this, we now have this neat white edge, and I can cut this into a corner and put it in the spread, or I can create a strip that's going to go across. I can also just cut strips and use it as like a thicker border across the page, right? I'm not exactly sure what I want to tear, if I want to tear corners or if I want to tear other things. Where is my scrapbook layout? Let me see. I think we might do a corner, which means I'm gonna probably cut it at 2.5. So again, back into, put this out for a second so I can actually think straight. I need to go this way because I want it at 2.5 at that point. So I'm gonna cut it across. Get that out of the way, because now when I go back in here, I got all kinds of things noted for next week because I wasn't sure what I was doing. I can take it and tear it down further on this line. That's a bit chunky, so we're going to make it a bit smaller. That's kind of cool. Okay, so let's make that line a little bit better. There we go. So now when I go to decorate this spread, I have a nice corner piece. All right, so we have that to add to our decor collection. Now, I don't know what I want to do on the other side. I haven't decided, but we at least have one torn decor, that's a mouthful, torn decor piece. All right. The next thing that is on the list is punched shapes. So I went up to my big bin of scrapbook, like punches, and this isn't quite the same pattern, but I'm thinking, you know what, it might make a nice, let's do this way so I don't waste too much paper. A nice thing to add to the spread, just little tiny pieces. And then you can also use, like if you are punching shapes out, you can also use this as a border now if you were so inclined. There's so much versatility, and I guarantee, because most of us, I've asked, I did a poll, I did a poll a few months ago, most of us come from the scrapbooking realm, or we are still scrapbooking and card making, which means you have a whole lot of supplies that you can bring into your planner to create some fun stuff, some fun elements. So now we've got punched shapes, which I'm going to add to that spread when we do it this week. But see what I'm talking about? So now if I was to continue this, I can cut that off, and I could add this strip at the bottom. Actually, you know what? Let's demo it, shall we? Let's demo it. I'm going to give you a version here quickly so we can see. And of course, so much of this stuff we do as scrapbookers, we're just really not thinking about integrating it into something like our planners. So, I mean, that would make, not maybe there, but so a nice little border to go across the bottom of the page as well, right? Just fun, creative, unique little things you can do to jazz it up. I don't know about you, but every once in a while I get into a planner funk and I get bored. I'm not sure what I want to do next. Okay, so the next thing we're talking about is making decorative and functional boxes. So, because I've got this big, beautiful piece here, we're going to tap into this bad boy, and I'm going to cut it at 1.5 by 2.5, because that is the size of the vertical boxes. All right. The next thing we're going to do, now you can do this a couple of different ways. You can use it just as is on the page, right? And then put a sticker on top of it. Or you can turn this into a functional box by adding either some label paper to it or just regular printer paper. So we're going to cut up some label paper. And I'm going to do it just slightly smaller than the 1.5. Oh yeah, this thing's got a edge on it. So to avoid making myself the wrong size box, let's get rid of that edge. Okay, so now let's go back in here, and I'm going to measure this at 1.5, but I'm going to go slightly smaller, like 1 5/8 kind of thing, like super small, not very much at all, or 1 7/8 maybe. I'm not very good with the fractions, people. Okay, so now instead of 2.5, we're gonna go just slightly smaller. And now I have a functional box that I'm going to stick on top of my decorative one. Now this is going to be tricky. I'm going to de-stick this because I don't know if you can hear that, but it's taken off half my skin trying to get some of the stick off of this, because trying to get this lined up might be a bit of a, yeah, I didn't quite make it small enough. So am I too wide? Let me do this a little bit too wide. So I'm going to narrow this down. I always like to go a little bit easy on this, because you can always cut smaller. I mean, I probably should be doing this with something else, but we're just going to wing it. You can always cut smaller, but you can't add back. So I always practice a little caution when I'm cutting things out and measuring and such. Yeah, that's a bit better. Okay, so now when I stick this down, see, I now have a functional box. That was terribly laid down. Oh my God. Okay, hold on. Thank you for de-sticking. I just need to straighten this out. It may be because I did a crappy cut too. Okay, there we go. Now if I can just get rid of my fold here. There we go. Okay, so see, now I've got a pretty box that's functional that I can add to my spread when I do it this week. So we've got, if I leave it alone, I've got decorative, like so. Oh my gosh, I can't pick anything up. My nails are too long right now. Okay, so we're gonna trim this guy off. I still have sticker bits stuck to the scissors. Let's just pretend they're not there. Okay, so now for my spread, I have a functional box and a decorative box that I can use in addition to the spread, okay? Let's take the sticker bit off of the scissors before I forget. All right, next on the list, and the final piece to my 5 things I'm going to share with you in this tutorial is cutting things out of the scrapbook paper. So because this is really pretty, I was actually thinking about using some of this as decorative boxes as well. I just hadn't decided 100%, so it may end up in the spread when I do it. But we're gonna hop on in here and see if I can cut some of this out. Who is not connected? They're all connected. Damn it. Okay, so we're going to kind of fudge here carefully, because really all I want is a couple of sunflowers, I should say. I can't even speak today. Okay, so let's head on over in this direction. Okay. Yeah, because I just wanted some decorative elements to use when I do this spread. But I picked this scrapbook paper up a couple of months back, I think, with the intention of using it in the summer. And I totally forgot about it, but it's still technically sunflower season, because sunflowers, at least here, are late summer. Like pretty much the end of summer is when our sunflowers are ready to go. Like they're kind of on the dying off side now. But I really wanted to do a sunflower spread this summer. And actually the Functionally Chic Yellow book has some great sunflowers in it that I've been eyeballing for this coming week too. So you may end up with 2 sunflower spreads, because I'm like, I really want to do sunflowers, but we'll see. We shall see how it goes. But this is going to take me just a few minutes just to sort of neatly cut this out, so bear with me. And then I'm going to give you an example on how I actually plan to use this stuff, for the spread that's coming up. And who knows, it could change, because I could change my mind on what I want to do with this stuff by the time that time comes around. But at this moment, right now, the plan is to use them as such. So it kind of looks funny with that little daisy, or I think it's daisy. I don't know what they're supposed to be. They're not quite, I don't know, maybe they're daisies? It's a little weird for daisies to be with sunflowers though. Really, they're opposite seasons. One is in the spring and one is in the fall, well, late summer. Okay, so, and then we're almost there. I have to clean my office. I have been making one heck of a mess in here. Oh my gosh. You know, crafting is messy. Don't get me wrong, but this is also my functional workspace. But I've been kind of slacking this week. You know, I'm surprised. It's a good thing the boss doesn't know, because she'd like fire my ass, which is, you know, the irony being I am the boss. Apparently I'm a very patient boss, because yeah, productivity and focus this week, I have no idea what those 2 words mean. But yeah, I've been playing a lot with scrapbook stuff, not like scrapbooking, but just coming up with ideas for layouts for this week, like this one. And I pulled apart a bullet journal. Oh my gosh. So I wanted to start using a bullet journal to expand sort of my tarot journaling. But then when I was talking to Di last night, she reminded me, like me, like her, or I, like her, need to be able to take things off the disc. Now, granted, I had a really nice bullet journal. It was a Scribbles That Matter journal. I bought it last year. And beautiful, beautiful bullet journal. Lays flat, so I can't complain about that. But when she showed me what her bullet journals look like, because she was decorating them and stuff the way we like to decorate, and I'm like, oh, it's like fanning. She's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, maybe it's not such a good idea. So I literally pulled the whole thing apart. Oh, so I've got little pieces of, like, small pieces of paper everywhere in my house. It's terrible. Or in my office. I mean, ooh, that would look nice right up there, actually. Yeah, so clearing through some of the mess here, we have like a nice decorative box, and then we have like a functional box, which would probably be really good right there. Like, at least these are totally taking away from the effect. Let's get rid of the sticky notes. Okay, so we put that guy there, and we put that guy like that, and then we have my journaling flip box. Maybe we're going to put that there, and I might put, actually, you know what? Let's cut it and see. So I'm going to go from this side because I want it, that's 2.5. So we're going to back up to 2.25. And then instead of 3, we are going to go 2.75. It's not exactly the best spot to do the trimming, but yeah, see, that'll be nice on there. Okay, I might change it up to get like maybe this piece in there. Let's see. 2, there's 3, 2.75. That may be better. Yeah, see, that brings in, oh, that'd be purty. That'd be purty. Okay, so back to our regularly scheduled program here. Well, making a mess, just making a mess. Okay. So we have this cute decorative box, and then we have my journaling flip box, which is probably like going to hang out there. And I'm going to put this pretty guy, I think, on the front of that. I don't want to adhere it like 100% just in case I change my mind, but like that might go there. And then where's my ripped piece of paper? I'll put that maybe over there. And then where's my, yeah, see, this is just little stuff. And then, like I said, I've got all these punched pieces, which, looking at it now, I might go and punch some from the sunflower paper. Let's have a look. I have like an area over here that's really not going to be used for much. So let's see if I can get something that looks kind of cool. Oh yeah, those are way more fun. See? Like when you start playing, there's so many things you can do that you can have so much fun with. So this is just sort of a bird's eye view of what my spread will look like later on this week. Well, for next week. And additionally, all the unique and creative ways you can use scrapbook paper in your planner as a ways to cut down on the costs of supplies. Because, you know, we've been talking about this quite a bit lately. Like, it all costs quite a bit of money. It's not a cheap hobby by any means. And if you're in a position where your budget does not allow you to spend a ton of money on everything, these are budget-friendly ways you can create really creative layouts and not have to spend a ton of money. And I guarantee you got stuff already in your house, because as I said, I did that poll in I think it was in the spring, and a good majority of us, I think it was like 70%, come from scrapbooking and still have supplies or are still actively scrapbooking or card making. So you've got the stuff. Use the stuff. So just to recap, you can make journaling flip boxes. You can tear to create decor, so the corners or what have you, strips. You can do punch shapes. You can make decorative and functional boxes with scrapbook paper. And then finally, you can cut stuff out for decor pieces. I think it was last week, I think it was Lori Dean Plans did something really cool too. She had an actual scrapbook paper that had a door on the paper. So she glued the paper down and she had cut out the door. So it was literally a Dutch door sort of deal. It was really cool. So check that out. She does have a YouTube channel. She's Lori Dean Plans. So Lorie Dean, Dean Plans, and she's of course on Instagram with the same handle. But yeah, check that out. She did a really cool, I think it was in her dashboard. It looked really, really cool. All right, rock stars, get to planning. Get that scrapbooker paper out. We want to see your spreads. So get that scrapbook paper out and make sure that you tag both Di from Creative Karma Designs and myself, the Enchanted Planner. If it's on Instagram, it's the_enchanted_planner because somebody has my name already. But yeah, make sure you tag us and show us your spreads. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you again soon. Ciao.